Hello everyone, and welcome back to All the Mod 7 to the Sky. In the last episode, we did quite a few different things to our storage system. So for example, in here, we not only have a 64K ME disk drive, so this thing will store 64,000 bytes, yeah. And then we've got this guy here, which is just a normal 64K item storage cell. He stores 63 types, but he stores a lot of them, like a lot of the blocks that are those types. So that's pretty cool. We have the ability to make more of those. We have some cool patterns set up. We put a bunch in here to auto-craft all that fun stuff. And on top of that, we've actually hooked up our mob storage or our mob grinding into our network. So we've actually got all of our stuff accessible via our system, right? And this chest, as you can see, it's pretty much empty. All the stuff's getting taken out. And one important thing we did is all of the junk, the stuff that we don't want, is currently going into an armory cabinet. Now, here's the thing. We're probably not going to use the stuff in here. There are some things that we do want. For example, I don't know, at least the enchantments, you know what I mean? Like, I'd at least want to take the enchantments off it. So, that's probably what we're going to do. Now, up until that point, there is something else we need to do. Let me just get back into range. I'm going to put a trash can down, right? Because I kind of don't want stuff going into this armory cabinet. I believe there is a limit. I think it's actually 4,000 items it can store. But I'm just going to get rid of the stuff. I've heard scary things involving, you know, lots of essentially lots of these types of items, like just armor that you see in the top left there. Just a bunch of that stuff just causing problems and like crashing your world or making like the chunk, I don't know, unlivable, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to make this trash can as just chest, cobble, and stone. And I'm going to chuck all the stuff in here. Now I'm going to keep this armory cabinet. I'm just going to add like an extra, what do you call it? Well, actually, I mean, I guess I can just place it next to it, right? I did it again. I'm clearly not learning. We'll just, yeah, you've watched me pick up this thing like 3 times now. I'm going to place it here, and then I'm going to pick this guy up. Now, the reason I'm going to pick it up, or I guess the reason it's going to go back into my storage is because I do want some of that stuff, you know, eventually. And even this stuff here, I do want to process it before it gets trash canned. But at the moment, we can at least start trash canning it. So that should be good. And we're doing this, by the way, with some filters in here. The filters specifically are actually tags. So we've actually set them up. Oh, sorry. I'll edit one instead of adding it. This one, for example, is the tag for Forge Armor. And then this one, for example, is the tag for Forge Tools. So we're getting a bunch of the stuff sent in there. Everything else going in our system. Beautiful. So how are we going to, you know, get the enchantments off of these items? Well, what we can do is we can make an Enchantment Extractor. Now, I'm having a quick look to see what options we have. We can use blood magic, apparently, to filter some stuff there. We're going to want this library at some point. I don't know if we can afford it. We'll see. We'll see if we even get that done this episode. But the block in particular is this guy here, the Enchantment Extractor. He's pretty good, but once again, we don't really have this stuff set up. So, what are we going to do? I'm not entirely sure. I'll be honest. I'm not entirely sure because there is something else that I kind of want to do. I just don't know if we do it this episode or in an upcoming episode. What I want to do is I want to check out QIO from Mechanism. This stuff is Quantum Item Orchestration. Okay? It looks pretty good. If we look up Drive, this is what I did to sort of find out. I've seen people suggest it in the past, but I never even gave it a look, to be completely honest. I've never even touched it before, as far as I'm aware. You get this guy, and then I imagine you put these drives in it, and the wording seems pretty similar to like the wording we see in the AE2 drives, right? We've got types, and we've got items. So this first drive, I imagine, could store 16,000 items that can be 128 different types. That sounds really good. Like, that genuinely sounds really good, especially when you look at some of these higher ones. Like this one over here can store 16 billion items that are 8,192 different types. And I don't know about you, but I don't even know if there's 8,000 items in the game, like 8,000 different types of things. So this thing sounds phenomenal. It would need an antimatter palette, which I don't really have my hands on. But the rest of this stuff is very affordable. So let's say, okay. But the cheapest one isn't that affordable. Okay. Interesting. So that would be a whole episode right there. Very interesting. Okay, but so once we get this guy, we can pretty much push it all the way up to this tier here, right? The time dilating one, which is going to give us 1 million items stored, which is pretty good. I mean, like that's clearly pretty good. In our storage at the moment, what do we have? We've got like 35,000 of something. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty decent. So yeah, those are our two options. We'll probably do both of them at some point. The question is, what do we want to do right now? I honestly don't know. I'll tell you what. We could do the enchanting stuff, but I'll tell you what. I feel like we did this somewhat recently on All the Mod 7, just normal All the Mod 7. So I want to do this QIO stuff because I've never done it before. Oh, but I don't know if we can. You know what I mean? Like some of these recipes are a little bit concerning. I'll tell you what. We'll start making some patterns. I think slowly but surely we'll understand, how we're looking. We just need some patterns. So for starters, I'm going to order 64 of these, right? We can afford everything. It's just a matter of it crafting everything. So I'm going to order all those patterns. That should keep us covered for a very long time. And that's that. That's that. So now, let's start making things. So the first thing we do need is the QIO drive array, right? So why not? Let's add the pattern for it. That'll make things a little bit easier. Next up, is that a personal barrel? I think this can just be any chest. Oh, actually, no, it has to be one of these personal ones. I get you. So it can be a personal chest or a personal barrel. The recipes are very similar, just using chests or barrels. So we'll just do honestly, we'll probably do the chest one. So I'll actually put this back in here and maybe switch that out for for the other pattern. Where are we? Oh God, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. This one. Nope, it keeps wanting to do the barrel. I really just don't want it to. It might already be doing alternatives, but I think you get the idea. Okay, so, sorry. We got a bit distracted there. So, first thing we'll need is going to be a personal chest, which we are going to grab. The ultimate control circuit, polonium pellets, teleportation cores, and glass panes. Okay, so glass panes, right off the bat. I don't believe we have any of this stuff. Yeah, so glass panes, we can make those out of glass. Easy, done, wonderful. Step 1 complete. Next up is the personal chest. This as well is pretty easily done, I think. The steel might be a bit tricky. Maybe. We'll see how we go. But by the way, I don't think we'll make this thing this episode. I'd be very surprised. But we're going to do something that, pushes us towards there. But possibly making the polonium. I believe that's a bit of a step to get to. So anyway, yeah. What's next? Well, the basic control circuit, we can do this recipe here. So I'm going to say, hey, osmium ingot and enriched redstone goes in. But here's the kicker. How do I do this? Oh, hold on. I keep forgetting. What is it? Middle mouse that I got to do? Middle mouse. I believe we want 4 of these. And the reason we want 4 is because one of these requires 20 millibuckets and this guy produces 80 millibuckets. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Hopefully it makes sense. It makes sense in my eyes. So anyway, we'll do that. We'll grab the patterns back. Oh, we've got a lot coming through. Awesome. So we'll chuck that there. So we're making good progress. Next would probably be the steel. I guess we could add just chest. Why not? Let's search chest, oak chest. Chuck this in here. Beautiful, wonderful. Why not? The glass we've got. So yeah, now it's just steel. Now we have 2 different steel. We have all the ore steel, which is probably the one we want to use. But we also have mechanism steel, which, to be honest, doesn't even have a recipe. So we'll probably not use that one. Now, this steel. How do we want to get our hands on it? As per usual, we have a few options. We might be able to cast... we could blast furnace. What do we have over here? Is this alloy kiln? Yeah, not a blast furnace, is it? Okay. Sure. Alternatively, we can make dust that we then turn into the stuff by smelting it. We could do that in a Metallurgic Infuser. I think this is probably what we'll end up doing. This seems like sort of the best idea, I think. I mean, realistically, the crafting recipe here is pretty good, but I think that might be a bit tricky to get to as well. Maybe. Let's see. If I do this recipe here using a copper ore hammer, and we check these settings, so prevent using alternative items. Yeah, allow using alternative items. Yep. So it'll use coal, or if it's allowed to use charcoal, it'll use charcoal. If it's allowed to use a different ore hammer, it will use a different ore hammer, I believe. So I'm going to encode this. That should be fine. And then for the iron dust, I might even do the same thing. I might say, hey, you can put that exact same ore hammer in with this guy and pull out what you want. And once again, we've got this guy set to be allow using alternatives. So that should be good. Realistically, I want to do the same with the chest. I want to set this to allow alternatives. I think that'll be good because then it'll use all different types of planks to make these chests. And I mean, that's pretty important when you're dealing with, I don't know, different types of wood. So far, so good, potentially. The next thing we'll need is the actual steel smelting. So that's going to be this steel dust here from all the ores being smelted into an ingot. And yeah, so this recipe obviously will go over into the crafter that is located back here. Or sorry, not the crafter. That's some refined storage seeping out there. In the pattern provider, we'll go this smelting recipe. The rest of this stuff goes somewhere else. So for example, in the Metallurgic Infuser, so this guy here, this recipe will go. That should be good. And then the rest of this is sort of just crafting recipes. Now this is going to get a little bit messy, in case you couldn't tell. By messy, I mean we're going to need quite a few pattern providers. I might just order 3. We'll see how tricky that is to get my hands on, because I think there's a little bit of crafting we're going to have to do. It shouldn't be too bad. Like, once again, it shouldn't be too bad because they're all somewhat like small recipes. It's just a matter of processing all the things, you know what I mean? Which once again, maybe I should work on, there's so many things to do. Realistically, we should work on something that keeps, like, you know, processes pre-made for us, which we can do, but I've committed. So we're doing it for this episode. We're doing what I said I was going to do. So anyhow, we've got another pattern provider. We'll keep slamming this guy around this molecular assembler. I believe as well, by the way, if one pattern is like one recipe is being made, the other guys can't also craft. You know what I mean? Like, this molecular assembler is like a crafting table. If it's in use, it's in use. Well, I guess that's a bad example because multiple people can use a crafting table. But hopefully you get the idea. So anyway, this stuff can all go in there. That should be good. What we might we'll see. What we could do, what I was going to say, is we could create a recipe for the ore hammer. You know what I mean? Like, we could go in here. What do we have a lot of? I mean, I'm pretty sure we have a lot of copper and stuff. Like, in here, what have we got? I mean, to be honest, we've got a lot of iron. We'll probably make it out of iron, right? Let's go in here. Let's search ore hammer. Actually, no. Yeah. Let's do ore hammer. So I'm going to do this recipe. I'm also going to use blocks of iron, and that should be good. And so we'll add these in here as well. What I might do, though, is actually, we've already got blocks of iron auto-crafted. Oh, cool. I saved myself a pattern. Beautiful. Every little bit counts. Okay, so steel is allegedly done. What I'm going to do, though, is I'll check to see if it actually is. So in here, we have an ore hammer with 9 durability. I'm going to search steel. I'm going to click on the steel ingot and try to craft on. We need raw ore. Okay. Let's create a new pattern. The pattern is going to be for iron ore. Arguably, this is not what I should be doing here, but it's what I'm doing anyway. The raw iron looks a lot like a raw rabbit, by the way. I feel like that needs to be addressed at some point. But anyhow, we'll chuck this here. This pattern can probably go in there. Why not? Okay, let's try this now. Steel. Click this. 1 steel, please. And let's see what we get our hands on. I have a feeling this should go down to durability 7. If this even works, which I don't know if it will. Let's then search copper again. No, let's search ore hammer. I think it ain't my ore hammer. I'll be completely honest. Do I get it back? Oh, I do. Oh, and it uses the durability. That is awesome. I'll be honest, I don't think refined storage can do that. I don't believe so. If I'm wrong, let me know, because I got to change some stuff on my other playthroughs. But that is honestly a really cool feature, being able to use that. That is very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so my real question now is, if I order, you ready for this? This is going to blow your mind. What if I order more? More steel than our hammer can handle? At the moment, it says it's fine. I don't think it is, though. To craft 4, to craft 5, to craft this. Let's see. I'm going to order that, and we'll just see what happens. I genuinely think it's going to run out. Yeah, so it ran out just then. Oh, we did get 5 dusts, to be completely... Oh, it's because... actually, yeah, that's pretty good. that's pretty good. I don't know how it happened. I feel like it shouldn't have happened. I feel like we might have cheated a bit to get that, but whatever. So if I order steel again, what's going to happen here? If I press middle mouse on this, missing copper ore hammer. Okay, that's what I wanted to check. That's sort of why I was like sticking around here for a little bit too long. Let's change this to the ore hammer, the iron ore hammer. And once again, same thing, make sure we have it to allow substitutions. And that should be good. I don't know if you need to have it allow substitutions, but we will do that and it won't hurt us, I believe. So like, that's the main thing. Might as well, better safe than sorry. So now, if I order steel and I middle click here, yeah, it'll craft, it's actually gonna craft 2 ore hammers, which is a little bit overkill, but at the same time, I kind of don't really care too much, because why not, I guess. So yeah, we've got 2 here and 1 used 2 durability. Awesome. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy. So now that we have steel, that's what? That is the personal chest crafted, I believe. Hey, that's pretty cool, right? Okay, so currently we have the personal chest and the glass pane auto craftable. Beautiful, beautiful. We're getting there. We're getting there. We'll see if that even actually can craft. I'm pretty sure it can. Yeah, I think it's just currently doing a little bit of crafting in here. Awesome, awesome. I'm happy, I'm happy. So next up, what do we want? Honestly, the Teleportation Core and this Ultimate Control Circuit, they're sort of gonna overlap each other a bit because their main ingredient is this guy here, the Atomic Alloy. So I'll tell you what, we'll slap this guy, into the pattern guy over here, and we'll try and craft him. So, Atomic Alloy, this guy's going to use the Refined Obsidian. So we're gonna have to do what we did for all the other ones, and there's gonna be a little bit of this happening, at least for a little bit. So I think actually it's Enriched Obsidian, and if we just search Enriched, all the stuff will be here that we need. So Enriched Obsidian will go in there. Now, Reinforced Alloy requires 20 diamond, and the Enriched Obsidian gives us, if we click in here, 80 millibuckets. So this is gonna be a similar thing as well, where I believe what we want is 4 of them. I believe we're creating 4 of these at a time, which is fine. It should be good. Awesome. I mean, yeah. Next up is Reinforced Alloy. This once again is going to be a similar picture where we chuck in our Enriched Diamond. And I imagine it'll be the same. Let's check here. Yep, it needs 20. And let's double check. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Press U on here to see what it's used in. Creates 80. Beautiful. Same thing here. So I'm going to say, hey, you need to be 4 and you need to be 4. And I'm doing this with middle click, by the way. And it is bound, the key that it's bound to is the pick button. That's what it's bound to, the vanilla gameplay pick button. So you can change that to a different button, or you can remove all the other middle buttons by searching key and typing middle button, and it'll show all the middle buttons. I thought I'd point that out because it's a pretty good feature. You just need to know how to use it, I guess. So yeah, we'll grab this pattern. We already have the alloys crafted. So the final ingredient here is going to be the actual enriched ingredients here. So we'll grab that, and then we'll grab the Enriched Obsidian. Beautiful. Now, the Enriched Obsidian, this will be a bit trickier, as you might tell, because we don't have Refined Obsidian. We have diamonds, that's fine. We don't have Refined Obsidian Dust. And we make that in a Metallurgic Infuser, so there we go. Chuck that right back in. Drag in the Enriched Diamond. All right, how much does this cost to make? This guy needs 10. So guess what? We're going to be making 8 of these at a time. That's perfectly fine. 8 of these. Boom. 8 of these. Wonderful. You'll love to see it. Now, the Obsidian Dust, this is another picture. How are we going to get our hands on this? Boom. Hey, enrichment chamber. That makes our job pretty easy. Boom. Beautiful. Okay, so, you are alloy, you are enricher, and then what's the final piece of this puzzle? The final piece is the obsidian, and we can order obsidian. We can order obsidian. Now, in order to do that, we're going to need another pattern provider. Okay, so first of all, let's put some of this stuff away so that we can, see what we're dealing with. So inside here goes, well, actually, no, wrong thing. Inside of this guy is the Metallurgic Infuser. We'll go these infusing recipes here. So the ones that use the enriched pieces. So enriched diamond, enriched obsidian, and enriched diamond again. In this guy, for the enrichment chamber, ironically, he doesn't use the enriched stuff. He does the enriching. He will receive these 2 patterns, as well as this one here for the refined obsidian. Beautiful. And then this final one over here is just a crafting recipe, so you can just go in here with the rest of the stuff. Beautiful. So, all we need is the obsidian. Now, to do obsidian, we're going to have a little bit of fun, and actually, we've got a decent amount of obsidian over here. I was going to have it so that we could craft obsidian by having the provider put however much lava we need into the stone barrel. You know what I mean? That's what I was going to do. And that would work, but I mean, if I've already got this set up, and as long as our machines all have plenty of lava, and it looks like they do, But I mean, we're fine. Yeah, we'll just connect this to the system. So all I've got to do is dig under here. Oh, can't really do that then. I'll have to pop up on the side. That should be fine though. So what we're going to do is get storage bus. we don't have any lying around. Here we go, storage bus. He'll need an ME interface, which will be crafted like so. We'll order that piece. Why not? Where are we? Realistically, some of this stuff we definitely should have some recipes for, but it's fine. We'll get there in the end. All right, ME interface, beautiful. That will then turn into the storage bus, wonderful. I thought I heard like I don't know, something move. A little bit scared. This guy's gonna go on the side of the drawer, that should be fine. And then all I need to do is flux network this up. So we'll turn on our jetpack, head on under here, make sure that everything is connecting just beautifully. And then of course we need to double check that we connect it to a cable that can handle it. So this one's max, 8 channels, which means, what's this stuff here? Storage bus, import bus. I think we can just attach it pretty much on any side of this guy, like any side of this main cable here. So realistically, we can just attach it just like this. That should be good. Yeah, hopefully. So if we head back up here now and open our system, we should see that we actually do have Obsidian accessible in the system. How cool is that? And that's happening over here. If we wanted to, which arguably we do, I can pick that up and we can actually grab a cover. But it is called a facade and we don't actually have the one that we want. So what we need is we need cable anchors. Those are these here. They're going to use like gold and a Certus quartz knife. They're pretty good. We'll grab, I don't know, a bunch of that stuff out. Then what we do is, we actually need those. We place 4 of these in the crafting grid. This is purely for cosmetic. And then we search stone. We grab our specific stone that we want. I'm just trying to find it here. You guys are probably already staring at it. This stuff here, boom. And we can create facades. And then I can place the facade here. And then I can place the cable and it goes in the ground. And it looks really neat and it looks really tidy. How cool is that? Awesome. Okay, wonderful. Excellent. So now, what does that mean? I think, I could be wrong. I think that means we can craft the teleportation core. We can. It's only going to use 199 bytes as well. Very strange. Anyway, there we go. Awesome. So once again, some of this stuff, it definitely could use some speed upgrades and whatnot. But the main thing is, it works. Or at least, it appears to work. so we can watch this. I actually really enjoy. I love the fact that you can see things happen in Applied Energistics. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels a lot more, I guess, fun visually. You know what I mean? Like, you've got these big cables. They look really cool. You actually need to use the colors, so you end up with like a really colorful base, unless you like spread things out. The actual controller, it's nice and flashy. The crafting storage, this stuff has to look really cool. The drives, obviously, they light up beautifully. Even like the crafter over here, this guy actually like having the crafting recipes show up visually, that looks amazing when you have just a massive like fleet of computers going on, a fleet of these crafters. It's a really fun mod. So yeah, I mean, hey, I'm pretty happy. Things are going pretty well. So we now have the teleportation core auto crafted. Next up is this guy, the ultimate control circuit. And as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. It's going to use atomic alloys and an elite control circuit. The atomic alloys we have crafted. The elite control circuit are going to use reinforced alloys and an advanced control circuit. And the advanced control circuit is going to use infused alloys and then that basic control circuit which we had auto crafted using using osmium and enriched doohickeys. So anyway, that's pretty good. So all that's left is to chuck the patterns in here. Once again, we are out of space, so we're gonna have to get more of these pattern providers. What I'm curious about as well, because these pattern providers, I mean, they hold 9 recipes. Surely Lazier, with a Z, sorry, Lazier AE2, surely it has something. Circuit Etcher, Pulse Grinder, Matter Infuser, ME Requester. I don't believe the Requester is what we want here. The Requester will like store stuff, but it doesn't have like a bunch of patterns like the pattern provider does. And in regards to increasing the capacity, I don't think you can. It doesn't look like you can. Anyhow, we do happen to have an extra lying around. Oh, in fact, we had one on us. So we'll slap this guy on the side. Beautiful. He's hooked up. Once again, I'm not sure how the channels work entirely. So someone actually let me know. If everything is attached, so for example, like this, what's a better example? Okay, so my question is, because there's one cable under here, connected here, does that only use one channel? even though there's these, 5 things attached or 6 things attached, is that only one channel? And does that mean if I were to then have a cable come around and connect onto the side of this and maybe not have them connected, would that then be 2 channels? Like, is it purely dependent on how many cables are attached as opposed to how many things are attached? That's the bit I'm not 100% on, but the fact that this still works makes me think that is how that works. Does that make sense? Maybe not. Anyhow, that should be good. We've got these patterns in there. So now, I believe, we should be able to craft, if we go back to this this thing here, quite a lot of this. So we're going to want 2 ultimate control circuits. So I'll search ultimate. We might as well order them so they're on their way. 2 of these guys. Ooh. We've actually, our computer's full at the moment because we're doing all this crafting. So yeah, we just got to wait for our computer. That's fine. We can do that. We could make more computers, but we've only got 1 Metallurgic Infuser, and we could make more of those. But that's a little bit too much effort. We could put speed upgrades in. Yeah, we could. We genuinely could, and it would probably be a pretty good idea. But regardless, we now have everything here, I believe, except for, whatchamacallit, the polonium. So, polonium. How do we get our grimy little hands on this guy? Okay, first of all, we'll put in this pattern. We probably won't. How do we get our hands on polonium? Alright, let's unbookmark and bookmark it again. So, first thing we need is fluoride dust. We are going to need polonium, that makes sense. And we need just water. It's going through a bunch of different gases and like liquids and stuff here. As you can see in the tooltip, it says accepts anything with the tag Minecraft water. So all of these things just happen to have a Minecraft water tag. We can literally just use water. So that's fine. Perfect. All we need then is fluorite, polonium, and a PRC, a pressurized reaction chamber. These recipes, they're pretty cheap. We can craft that easily. So the fluoride dust. This is going to be fluorite in a crusher. So we'll bookmark the crusher. Fluorite we get from sifting gravel. So arguably, we should have some. In here, yep, look at that. We've got 4,000 fluorite. Beautiful. Fluorite, check. We've got some. Wonderful. So, all we need for that is a crusher. Bingo, bango. We've got our fluorite. Should we do that? I think we should. Let's go ahead and see if we can get our hands on a crusher. We're going to need some lava buckets. So I'll tell you what, we're probably going to need some buckets. Let's go in here. Bucket, 1, 2. Beautiful. Run over here. And we'll grab it out of, I guess, this tank. 1, 2. Excellent. So, that's the lava. What else do we need? We're going to need a steel casing. This guy's going to need some steel. So, I guess we'll order some of that. Beautiful. Is this guy done yet? Oh, actually, he was done. Very interesting. So, do we have that teleportation thing? We do. Oh, awesome. You'll love to see it. So anyway, steel casing. Somehow still not... Oh, we're still waiting on this recipe. I will say, it does take a little while to do like this last piece. I'm guessing it's waiting somewhere, somehow, for the hammer to get back into the system to then use it again. That's my best understanding of what's going on there. But anyway, we now have a steel casing. Wonderful. We can then turn that into a crusher. And we can slap this guy up. And obviously, we're going to want to give him a little bit of an ender gate. So we'll grab, we'll just grab a 20k, a 2k one, sorry. So this guy, he can go anywhere. We're probably going to want to autocraft some stuff on him. So realistically, what we want to do is pick this guy up. I don't think there's anything. Can we actually just do this? No, I can't. I don't think there's anything under him. I could be wrong. We're about to find out. No, he's just placed there for the thrill of it. So realistically, he can, I don't know, sit over there. Why? Why not? So the crusher can go here. We'll give him some power on the front. Wonderful. He's good to go. Okay. I'll tell you what though. There is probably some stuff we want to crush at some point. So why not? Let's add some auto crafting. So we'll grab the pattern. We'll grab the stairs required, which are going to be stone brick stairs. Wonderful. So the pattern provider will go under there. The stairs will go here. Beautiful. We can now access underneath. So why not? Let's go fluoride dust. This recipe here. Grab that. Chuck it under. Beautiful progress is being made as we speak. So fluorite, crusher, check. All that's left in that case is polonium. And then obviously the PRC will craft that eventually. But the polonium. How do we get our hands on polonium? So this is where it gets very, very tricky. So polonium is made in a solar neutron activator. And that's not the tricky part. The tricky part is using nuclear waste. We need our hands on nuclear waste. Now this you can get from wasted radioactive cone, which I didn't know. That might be a better way to do it, a funner way to do it. We'll have a look. Usually, though, the way you get nuclear waste is through a fission reactor. Okay. Yeah. Once again, the crafting recipe for this, it's probably going to be annoying to make, you know what I mean, if we actually do want to make it. But it's all doable, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be steel and lead, lots of steel and lead. Some of these recipes we've seen before. It's pretty simple to do. It's just going to be a bit annoying. Then, here's the next problem. You need, you know, I believe, Yeah, you just put water in it. So you chuck some water in, and you're good to go. It'll turn it into steam. You could put sodium in, and it'll superheat it, but we're just going to put water in, turn it into steam, bingo, bango, nuclear waste. But you need Fizzle Fuel, okay? Now, Fizzle Fuel, listen, I know we're going down a rabbit hole. We'll see how far we get. That is made two different ways. This way, I think, needs, nuclear waste. It uses plutonium, which uses nuclear waste. Yeah. So you could turn nuclear waste back into fuel through that recipe. But normally what you do is in an isotopic centrifuge, you chuck some uranium hexafluoride. Of course you do. And to make that, you grab some uranium oxide and some hydrofluoric acid, and you chuck that into a chemical infuser. Nice and easy. Hydrofluoric acid, that's going to be made using sulfuric acid and fluorite. It's a horrible path. It's very painful to do, just mentally, just to get your hands on a little bit of polonium. Alternatively, there's this. I'm really hoping this somehow has even marginally an easier recipe. So we could get a wasted radioactive bee. Radioactive bees dying to radiation has a chance to turn into... Okay. So a radioactive bee can die due to radiation, and it has a chance to turn into wasted radioactive bees. They don't pollinate on any flower. Instead, they absorb radiation from their surroundings. That doesn't sound good. Sure. Interesting. Very interesting. I wonder how this would work with the simulation upgrade. Regardless, though, how do I make a radioactive bee? A radioactive bee is made by breeding an iron bee and a creeper bee. This guy uses uranium as a flower. The wasted uranium bee uses radiation. But I don't know what would happen if we chucked that guy into one of these. A simulator upgrade, which doesn't use the real world. Either way, regardless, I guess realistically though, a radioactive bee, pretty easy to make. The problem is, how do I kill it with radiation? How do I get my hands on just enough radiation to kill the bee, but not just go the full way and make the polonium? Oh god. We've got 30 minutes roughly in this episode to do this. Can we listen, do you think it's physically possible for me to slap together a reactor and all the reactor fuel in 30 minutes? I don't think so. I don't think it's physically possible. The question is, what could I do to make it physically possible in the next episode? Because I don't even know if I could do it in one episode. We could make the fuel. We could try. Hey. We could try to make the fuel. That's an option. I believe for the fuel, regardless, we will need sulfur. We have some sulfur. We can do it. Now there is another problem that I've sort of glossed over. The reactor that takes this fissile fuel can blow up. It can kaboom. So, yeah, it can kaboom. So that's a problem, right? That's obviously a problem. And I don't necessarily know the solution. Do we have compact? We do have compact machines. We could chuck our fissile reactor, our fission reactor, in a compact machine, and that would stop the kaboom from killing us. We'll probably do that. It's a little bit boring putting it in a compact machine purely because you don't get to see it day to day. Oh, whoa. What was that? I'm in single player, by the way. Look, open a LAN. What did we just see? Am I crazy? I swear we just saw something. I could be crazy. I might be losing it. let me know if I saw something. let me know if I'm crazy. Anyhow, where am I going with this? I'm going somewhere. So the fissile fuel. Yeah. All right. Let's try and get it started. The problem is it's such a daisy chain, just an infinite unraveling of just all the things you could imagine. Sulfuric acid is then needed. Sulfuric acid, you can get it from sulfur, but it's better to use water vapor and sulfur trioxide. So you use water vapor. This is another chemical infuser. I think we've already got one over there. Use water vapor and sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide you get from sulfur dioxide and oxygen. Oxygen is pretty easy to get. You get it from water. Same with the water vapor, obviously. Sulfur dioxide, you get it again from sulfur, but you get more of it. Like you get more. There is also, hold on. There is, whatchamacallit? There's chem lib sulfur. I imagine there's a cheaty way to get your hands on some of that from that ChemLib mob. Okay, so yeah, very interesting, very, very interesting. Is there a bee section? There is. Does this just say welcome to the bees? Important note with the bees quest requiring combs, the recipes will not be shown. Make sure to look them up. I'm gonna say hey, thanks. Oh, and we get some goodies, and the bees open up. Beautiful. It's sort of what I was looking for. Is there anything in here to do with the stuff, the radiation? It does. I mean, there's radioactive bee, Kree and iron, and we get a radioactive comb. But that's about it. Okay. Also, the quest book here, I don't believe it has the new simulation upgrade. Should definitely I don't know, somehow it was a beautiful hexagon. Now it's going to be like a, well, I guess it wasn't a hexagon, was it? No. Anyway, it'll be a nice honeycomb now. Blah, blah. Okay. So we need to do this. We need to make a big platform. We're going to get this done. It's going to be amazing. Another thing I want is I would like stone auto-crafted. I don't believe, no, we don't have stone auto-crafted. I'd like to do that. So let's open this up, click stone, grab the smelting recipe here. Beautiful, wonderful. Let's give this a shot. So I'm going to fly over here, obviously. Chuck this guy into the bulk smelter. Ooh, don't fall off the edge. Oh god, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Awesome. We can now smelt stone. So, I'm probably going to order like 1,000 stone, right? We don't actually have enough bytes. We can add a storage to this. Let's do that. sorry. Let's, how much storage do we have? We have a decent amount. Let's add a thing that lets us add a crafting storage. I want to add this, right? This is what I want to add. Realistically, we could probably push it to 4K. Nah, probably not. Anyway, I want this. Actually, I do have a question. If I pick this up, can I disconnect it? Because I believe some things let you split them. Yeah, I can split it. Okay. Let's do that. We'll probably end up splitting it then. Oh, hold on. Can I just chuck in a 64K? Oh my god. Okay. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold up. We just have one here. Yeah. Let's order another one. Because it's good to have a backup one. We don't have enough sand. That's fine. We do have enough sand. It's just not in the system. So let me grab sand. Let me chuck it in the system. Let me order our backup drive. It doesn't have enough bytes. That's fine. Because it's about to. I'm going to chuck this in with the 64K. We're going to get a 64K crafting storage. And now we can craft pretty much anything we ever want, which is awesome. Chuck that in there. Craft this. Beautiful. The problem is this is going to take a while, isn't it? Yeah, that is a problem. Okay, hold on. So, realistically, I want to craft a coprocessor. That's probably the trickier part, right? The coprocessor? Actually, realistically, the tricky part is just the crafting unit. So I should probably just auto-craft this. And realistically, that doesn't even look that tricky, I guess. So, yeah, crafting unit. So if I search crafting unit, I should be able to order one of these. I'll get two. No, I guess we probably just want one. Let's cancel that recipe. Open this guy up. Crafting unit. Just one, please. Missing Fluix cables. Sure, we'll add Fluix cables. We'll add the pattern. That's going to be this, that, this. Quartz fiber. That's going to be this. Beautiful, wonderful. Chuck that in there. Sorry for going robot mode on you guys. Two of these, please. Craft. Beautiful. Create what I would like. Oh, actually, I've got glass cables on me. Sorry, forgot about that. Okay. We're good. Everyone relax. What we're going to do is we'll probably get another 64K over here. So we'll have like this guy and we'll have that guy. Oh, it's going to be amazing. You know what we could do as well? Like some of these, by the way, I don't know what the issue is here. Everything's currently quote unquote available, right? But for some reason, it's just not sending it in the system. You know what it could be? We might have overloaded the channels. I talk about the channels a lot. We genuinely might have. If we look over here, this is a smart cable, and it reckons we've got 7 attached. So if I disconnect this and place it here, this says, we'll let it update, 7 channels attached. And then I imagine this one's the 8th, right? And so then that's it attached there. So, I mean, it should be good, right? Like, it should be fine to craft that stuff, but it's not. For whatever reason, it's just, we're not getting the stuff in the system. So, I don't really know. I don't really know what the solution there is. Yeah, not too sure. The other thing is this looks to be full. I don't necessarily know if that is full, but I don't know. It looks reasonably full. So I'm thinking, once again, that maybe we disconnect this and instead try and connect it directly to this guy here. I don't really know how I'm going to do that. I don't know whether I just go down here and do it that way, which we might do. Like if I place a smart cable here and then just run Fluix over there, that should work. The question is, do we have enough Fluix? It looks like we do. We have a decent amount. So if I come back up here and just build this across, we'll see what it says. All right, so that's hooked up. This guy lights up. And yeah, it says 8 channels. So this guy's currently full. He's currently maxed out, which is not good at all. Now, he's currently connected. Let's have a look at the physical cable connections. I think we've answered the question already. So if we go all the way to the end, we have 1 connection there. Then if we come along here, all the way back down here, we have a 2nd connection. Then we have a 3rd and a 4th. Then we have the 5th over here, potentially. And then we have what? That's it. The 5 connections. But this 5th connection is connected to what? All of this stuff, which is more than I think we can handle, to be completely honest. So, I don't believe that works. I think what we're going to want is some of these dense cables. Arguably, we don't want the smart ones, but I don't think we can do much there, realistically. All right. We're good. I crafted some more. We've also ordered a bunch of... Oh! Whoa. How did they craft that quickly? Hold on. Wow. We apparently have a bunch of Fluix crystals because I just crafted 100 of those very, very easily. Let me actually just order, I guess, more. We might as well have them constantly flowing. So anyway, what I believe we want to do here is bring this dense cable out a little bit further because the dense cable's fine. He can do, I think, 32 channels, right? So realistically, what we want to do is bring this guy out as far as we can and then split it up. So, for example, not that. For example, we bring this guy down here and then we just run him as far as we can go. Realistically, like we might as well, yeah, go all the way over here. Then what we do is we start branching off. So, for example, these ones we have come out of different sides of this guy. So once again, I guess for example, is we run that cable over here connected to this side. Then through the front, we bring another cable out. And this guy will obviously just go directly across here. And I think that might be enough, just disconnecting these. The reason why I think that might be enough is because, and we might be able to have a look at this. Hold on. Give me a second. Hopefully you guys are following along. I'm not entirely sure if I'm following along, so make sure that you guys, I feel like a school teacher. But we can connect these here, these smart cables, and we can see what we're dealing with. So yeah, it is using 5 channels, this one connection here. So it's counting all of these as 5 channels. I don't think it's including the actual molecular assembler as, I guess, a channel. Since realistically, the pattern providers are the things doing something to this, and it's just a machine. You know what I mean? I think that's how that works. So there's 5 connections there, 5 channels, and then this direction has 4 of its own. Cool. Good to know. That's definitely important to know. Whew. Okay, awesome. So now, when we actually craft this stuff, it should work. I can probably cancel this. This stuff will still stay in there and craft. So, let's search for our crafting unit. We actually have a crafting unit. Wonderful. We're going to want to turn this into a crafting co-processing unit. So I'll have to order one of our patterns. And it should, hopefully this time around, actually order it and be able to craft it because the channels aren't overloaded. So yeah, that's an important thing. If you're crafting something and you're like, hold on, this used to work or it should be working, double check your channels because quite clearly, I was a bit stumped for a while. I was like, what's going on? And then I was like, you know what? It's probably what we least expect. So anyway, crafting co-processing unit, wonderful. Then what I should be able to do is arguably I can just pick this guy up. Let's just pick this guy up. Yeah, is everything still connected? No, but I can just go boop. There we go. That's connected, wonderful, sure. I guess let's patch up the floor with, well, I guess I'll be digging up floor over here anyway. So this guy, he could stay as a 1K, or I could push him to be one of these, a 64K. Once again, I don't think we have the stuff to make it on us. We're still waiting for some stuff, but we'll replace him at some point. So anyway, what we can do now is I can break over here, and I can go this, and they're connected, but they're not wired up. So if I now run under here, all I believe I need to do is just hook them up like so. Beautiful. Now it's hooked up. Wonderful. And once again, we can double check the actual blue cable. And yeah, we've got 13 channels down in that direction. Wonderful. So now we've got a second guy that we can work with. And this guy, for example, we can search stone. We can middle mouse on it. And can we order 1,000? Nope. But I'll tell you what. We can order like 700. That's the next best thing. With that being said, though, apparently we're not allowed to. 2,000 bytes used. I guess you're a 1K. I guess that makes sense. Anyway, I can order 300 at a time. Okay? That's the main thing. Wonderful. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. It's actually crafting suspiciously fast. Crafting. Anyway, I think, is it anyway? I think it's anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. So anyway, what was that? That was pretty much, that was most of the episode, to be completely honest. I do want to expand the island though. I want to grab a bunch of this stone out, and I don't know what necessarily the type of stone is that we're going to be using, but I'm going to just craft a bunch of stuff, and we're going to expand this thing. Yeah, I don't know what to use. Okay. As you can see, making a nice little platform here using our building gadget. We're going to need more stone than I've currently got, but obviously we're smelting it. This is, I guess, where it's going to be. Why not? And yeah, we're going to be making some fuel over here. We're apparently going for a big, like, just grid base, it looks like. But for the most part, I will try to keep this, like, whatchamacallit? This, like, theme going with the wood on the outside and the, sandstone through the middle. We'll see how far we get. Alright, the platform's over there. It looks beautiful. Okay? That's I guess, the start of all this. The follow-up is... Hey, let's get started. So, first of all, we're going to need some oxygen. To do this, we need a rotary condensator. Actually, no, we don't, sorry. We need an electrolytic separator. They sound pretty similar. They are different. Amazingly, they're different. Yeah, that's probably what we'll use. So, to make this guy, we'll open it up. Open up this guy. We've got all this craftable. We'll need an electrolytic core. This is going to need pretty much everything that we can already make. But obviously, what's that extra little bit? We need a golden dust. Now, this should be craftable. I'll just have to grab the right one and combine, you know, sure, why not? I know I could do the ore, but we don't have ore on us, so we'll do the dust. So that's fine. Dust is collected. That means we should, once this is finished crafting, get one of these guys, which I'm a little bit surprised. Oh, this guy's... that guy's stuck. It's because I cancelled one of the recipes while I was crafting. That is very likely my bad. Anyhow, this guy's crafting. Beautiful. We're almost there. Alright, so electrolytic core. Beautiful. Wonderful. You love to see it. And then next up is electrolytic separator. We're almost at it. We just need these crafted, which it is crafting. It's just slow. You know what we should do? You know what we'll probably appreciate in the next episode? Instead of doing this, like, I'll craft this last... you know what? I won't even craft it. Let's just do speed upgrades and, like, upgrade our machine so that in the next episode, when we try to properly do all this stuff, we're not waiting. You know what I mean? Like, let's just... Yeah, I think that's really, really worth doing. So if I search speed upgrades, we don't even have it in there. In fact, you know what we do have? We have a bunch of stuff that we're not meant to have. Like... No armor showing up when I do that. When I search swords, nothing shows up. Is this how I'm meant to do it? Or is it not a hashtag? Is it like a... Huh. Because we just saw a bunch of swords. Do these not have the tag? Do they not have the tag? They don't. Well, they do. I can't tell. I mean, they're all from Mechanism. So I imagine... Yeah, I imagine it's just their sort of thing. Sure. There's a few bows and tridents. Yeah, I don't know what a trident comes under. Okay. What was I doing? Oh yeah, the speed upgrades. So, what I'll do is I'll just create patterns for it. All this stuff is pretty much doable. I don't know if we had a pattern for Osmium Dust. Guess what? We will after this. So iron ore hammer plus raw osmium gives you the dust. Raw osmium is made with the pieces. Wonderful. That's easily done. All of these are just crafting recipes. Next up, we will want the energy upgrades. These guys, what they do is they increase the efficiency and in some cases the storage of a thingy, I guess. So I'm going to craft that. Craft a raw gold like this. Wonderful. And then we just chuck these into anyone that will take all my stuff. I just put those patterns in the system. I did not want to do that. Pattern, wonderful. I probably want some of these. Let's craft one, and then we'll craft another once that one's done, because we need more space. You know what we should do as well? Some of these patterns are like, they're going pretty slow because they're like crafting one thing at a time. If we get more co-processors, it'd go very, very fast. So we probably should do that. In the meantime, I'm going to order a bunch of that stuff. So this will be the last one that we can place on the molecular assembler. Sadly, that means we won't be able to see it anymore, which is 100% a disappointment. But we can chuck this stuff in. There we go. Why not? And yeah, we should be pretty good to go in terms of the add-ons. Now, there is something else we want. It is called tier upgrades. It is, where is it? These guys here. So basic, advanced, elite, and ultimate. I believe we can craft pretty much all of these relatively easily. So for the most part, I will make the patterns for all of them. The real question will be whether or not we actually, I guess, use them all. But I will create the patterns because I believe everything else we've already got. If anything, it would be like the actual osmium ingots. I think we're smelting those. But anyhow, if we chuck these in, and for example, if I craft one of them, if we craft, we'll get some basic ones. I'll get 2 of them for now. Okay, I'll order 2. They'll be on their way. It's happening. They're bringing themselves together inside this machine over here, and then we'll have to put the speed upgrades pretty soon. But bear with me. This guy, by the way, is currently offering Scavenger 3, which is pretty insane, as well as Sharpness 10, which is also awesome. He needs 32 Phantom Membrane. We don't have that lying around. We just don't. Phantom Membrane, we have 1. I'll tell you what though. We don't have a Mob Yoinker. Do we have a Lasso? I know there's Mob Imprisonment Tool, but we don't have plastic or gas tiers for that matter. There is a Piggy Backpack. That won't help us though, I don't believe. Is there a Lasso? Lasso, come on. Nope. Okay. Well, I don't know. Is there a bowl? Sometimes they just call them like bowls, and they're like Pokeballs, essentially. I'll be honest, it doesn't really look like it. And if there is, I've missed it. Anyhow, is this guy done? Yeah, awesome. So, we should have the tier upgrades. Now, what these guys do is, once again, if we open these up, currently this is what the inventories of these look like. You can process 1 item at a time. If we right-click these, shift right-click them, they turn into factory blocks, and then they can process 3 at a time, which is awesome. So, now the infusing factory, he can get a bit messy, especially doing multiple patterns at once, multiple recipes. He can definitely get very, very messy. But I think what we can do is we can change this to don't push crafting ingredients if inventory contains a pattern input. We want to leave this like that because that'll only craft 1 type of thing at a time. And let me show you what this is going to look like. So if I go upgrades and I want some speed upgrades, we're going to want, how many's in here? We've currently got 4 in there. So I'll order 12. I'll order 12 speed upgrades, okay? Because you can have 8 in total, I believe. So we'll order this. Everything should start getting like enriched. This, by the way, if I click auto sort, it splits it up. Spoiler alert, things go really, really cool. So this guy here, once again, he'll get all the stuff that needs in there. So there'll be all these. The redstone goes in. If I click auto sort, it's now processing 3 at once, which is incredibly faster than what it was before. And as you can imagine, we can bump the tiers up even more. The problem is the power usage. This guy uses 60 RF per tick because there's 3 of them. This guy over here, I guess he's not running at the moment. I guess I can probably chuck a bit of redstone in to give it a little look. Let's grab quite a bit. If I chuck 1 in, it's using 200. If I chuck another one in, it's using 400. And then you can imagine 600 using all of them. So it does use like 3 times. It essentially is the same as having 3 machines. So it is power hungry. With that being said though, obviously, we've got these energy upgrades. So let's order, what do I need? 16 of these? Let's order 16 of them. Once again, they might take a little while to get here, but we'll order them. We've got 2 of these guys going. This guy, we don't need to block his import. He can have any amount of ingredients he wants at once. This guy's the main one where we want to make sure that he's only getting like one type at a time. Because what would happen is you would have redstone in here, and then you'd have like a bunch of those diamond ingredients in here. And then you have the issue of like, well, hold on. The redstone doesn't work with the diamond, but we can't put any iron in to get the redstone out because there's diamond in there. And then you run into that issue. So 100% amazing thing changing this. That is really cool. Yeah, there's so many like little things in applied energistics that are good. And then there's just a few like nitpicks that I don't like in terms of like keybinds and stuff. But, you know, I'm sure that stuff you just get used to. The other thing I really don't like in here is like when I'm grabbing an ingredient, how it like shifts location. Like, I want to keep grabbing Wilden wings. I want to keep spamming them. And I don't want to have to click down here and search Wilden. And then even then, oh, I want to make sure that I'm getting the wings. So I've got to type the whole... Like, what's going on there? What's the deal with that? So yeah, I don't know. I wanted to complain about that. Anyhow, do we have any upgrades so far? We actually do. We have a lot of everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this guy up with speed upgrades. As you can see, not enough power. He's using 2,000 RF per tick, and he needs 12,000 RF per tick to run, apparently. If I chuck in 8 energy upgrades, have a look now. He's running again. He's actually filling up with power. We'll have to order, apparently, more, I guess. I don't even have anything to order because they're full of upgrades. You know what? We can order some tiers. Let's take it to advanced. Let's get 2 of these. So for starters, we'll do the same thing over here. Speed upgrades in. Energy upgrades in. Look over here. He's only using... I think the same as the other guy. He's using 600 RF per tick total, all up. Like if everything's running on all cylinders. That's pretty cool. I mean, look at him. He's faster than the machine can put the ingredients in. That's telling you something. Over here, I imagine it's the same thing. It's very, very fun though. So now we've got these guys. Once again, I can chuck this guy in here. He goes from 3 inputs to 5. Once again, keep in mind that's the equivalent of 5 machines. So like it can be very demanding. Like this guy here by himself, fully running, would be 1,000 RF per tick. I don't know if our system can technically handle that. I mean, we're generating 9,000 per tick, but that's with everything else, like passively just on existing. You know what I mean? So like, you do have to be careful, but when it works, oh boy, does it work. And it works really well. So yeah, how cool is that? Is that the end of the episode? Potentially. There are a few other, I'll tell you what, you know what might be fun? You might not like it. Let's craft a few things. For starters, molecular assembler. Let's order another one of these. We're going to need another one. I'm going to order one. They should be relatively quick. I'm going to just get like all the patterns that I think we're going to need in this next episode. We might as well do that right at the end here so that at the least in the next one, realistically, it should just be placing machines, ordering, placing them, order, place, get everything set up. It should be good. It should be. Yeah, so that guy should order. The pattern providers, we've got a bunch here. Molecular. He's on his way. There he is. The other problem here is obviously hooking him up because this guy over here is using 6 channels, sorry. So we need a completely different channel to pop out of here, which is, it's pretty ridiculous to be honest. Since we know how much these guys use, realistically, we don't need this to be a special cable. We can keep our smart cable and instead use some Fluix ones. And I think that makes a lot more sense. So we'll connect this guy here. Now, arguably as well, we'd probably want a completely different channel altogether because this guy's going to fill up pretty quickly. You know what I mean? I think that the dense cables can take 32 channels, but I don't know for sure. I'll tell you what. Let me land up here and check the quest book real quick just so that I know because I don't know. Where are we? Smart cable, basic cable, forward on channels. Does it specify here? Controller known as networks without a controller. Yep, whatever. Dense cables? I don't see a picture for dense cables, so I imagine it's like in here somewhere. Basic cabling. Yeah, okay, so the dense covered cables can do 32. And then most multi-part devices such as buses and terminals cannot be directly attached to dense cables. Yep, that's fine. You need to put a little insert. Yeah, okay, so he can store a lot. I mean, he can store 32, so we won't need to worry about it for a while. I guess that's argument enough just to ignore it then. Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, well in that case, we'll bring this guy through here. Oh, Yeah, might as well go up there. Why not? And we'll bring him... I don't even know where. Where are we going to place another one of these? Like, these things are just... They're pretty obnoxious, to be completely honest with you. I mean, I don't want to place it on the path. Do I build another platform out here with stone bricks? You know what? We might. we might. Alright, and that's how you build a platform really quick. Obviously, I don't know. The wood has to go back. I don't know if we have... Do we somehow have enough wood? I think we do. I guess it's the same distance. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so that's all built. Wonderful. So, realistically, if we want to do this, I'll break this here. We'll place the cable to come up there. This will be a pattern provider, molecular assembler, boom, and I guess we'll go up here, boom, wonderful. So all I need to do is hook up the cable. That should be relatively easy. And yeah, once again, we can have a dense cable coming down here in the future as a beautiful, what do you call it? I don't know, long distance cable. I don't know where I was going with that. All right, so this guy's up and running. He's good to go. I'm glad we're doing this. I know the episode's a little bit long at this point, but we'll stick with it for a little while at least, hopefully. So in terms of the recipes, I kind of want to do like the full machine. You know what I mean? So like I want to grab this recipe. I want to get the Electrolytic Core, right? Because we don't have that auto-crafted. I don't think we do. Electrolytic Core. Nope, we don't. Okay, so we've got that recipe then. So that'll make the oxygen, the Electrolytic Separator. Next up will be Sulfur Dioxide. So this is going to be a chemical oxidizer. So we'll grab this pattern here. Does it need to be a personal chest? It does. That's fine. We've got this recipe, so we'll grab that. All of this we have, except for Dynamic Tank and Basic Chemical Tank. Basic Chemical Tank is going to be some osmium and redstone. Easily done. The Dynamic Tank is going to be steel and a bucket. The bucket, obviously we need the recipe for that, so we'll grab that. Why not? We're actually out of patterns. I think we've got a bunch in here, but that is a little bit concerning. So I'll tell you what. We'll order 60? We'll order 20? We don't have iron. We'll order some later. We've got plenty for now. All right, so that's the bucket done. Yeah, iron bucket, all this, beautiful. For starters, let's go ahead and chuck this stuff in. Might as well. Boom, 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 boom. There, yeah, one of those patterns looked invisible. Anyhow. Okay, so that's the what is it? That's the chemical oxidizer, right? I think that's what we just crafted. Yeah, looks like it. Next up is the chemical infuser. This guy, I believe we have almost all of this except for steel casing. We'll add that recipe as well. I think so, right? I didn't craft it for this guy, no. So that's for the sulfur trioxide, is the chemical infuser. The water vapor is going to be a rotary condensator, so we'll do that guy soon. Sulfuric acid, that's another chemical infuser, so I think we made one of those. We'll bookmark it again in case. Hydrofluoric acid, chemical dissolution chamber. Let's bookmark him again. Hydrofluoric acid, yep, that's the same thing. Chemical oxidizer. Do we make you? Yeah, I think we made you just before. And then finally, chemical infuser again. Okay, so. Oh god. Let's go in here. Let's search chemical. We currently have chemical oxidizer crafted. So we will need a chemical infuser. Beautiful. Rotary condensator. This recipe. We currently have the tank and that's it. So we're going to need these other tanks. So basic fluid tank uses iron. The energy tablet uses gold and some alloys. Beautiful. And that should be the rotary condensator. Next up is the chemical infuser. All of these recipes we have. Then finally, I believe, is the chemical dissolution chamber. Surprisingly enough, almost all of these recipes we have. The only thing we don't have is refined obsidian ingot, which is actually a little bit annoying to make. We've got to, put it into an osmium compressor, I guess. I guess we'll have to. So we'll chuck this here for now. I'll probably fill the osmium compressor with osmium, so it'll just be this pattern. But obviously we need our hands on an osmium compressor, so I'll tell you what, let's add the pattern for that. Why not? That'll save me some time. Wonderful. Half of these patterns we can probably get rid of once we get the ball rolling. In fact, I think that might have been... Hold on. Pattern. What do we get? I don't know. We've got these two though. We'll chuck those in. Beautiful. So, in the next episode, I believe we can craft all those things. Arguably, I should order at least one of all of them at the moment. Good argument. Good argument. Yeah. Let's get at least one of each of these. So we'll get the, whatever that thing was. We'll get, an osmium compressor. Yep, we'll need one of those. We'll get one of those. Yep, sure. Oh, yeah, we're going to run out of, crafters, aren't we? Because they're not... Oh, actually, one of those I think crafted, like, pretty much instantly. Yeah. Chemical infuser. I don't think that's going to craft instantly. Okay. Well, hey, these are on their way for the next episode. If we want, we can upgrade these crafters. We can place more crafters all along here, more computers. We'll figure it out. For now, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Hopefully maybe you somehow followed along and have caught up with, with what we're doing. I don't think I'm fully caught up, so I wouldn't blame you if you're not. I'm sure we're doing some things wrong. By the way, it was either we did this whole thing, this episode, which I don't even fully understand what we did, but I enjoyed doing it, or we just set up like I don't know, like plastic and stuff, which is arguably just as much of a little bit of a train wreck, in my opinion, in terms of like, I don't know, just a chain of things you need. But yeah, apparently we're going to try and make a reactor. Sure, why not? And it's going to go, or at least all the fuel crafting is going to appear here, which is pretty nice. Let me know, by the way, what blocks I can use to build platforms out of, or at least how I can make this place look a little bit nicer, because it's a bit weird, I think. In fact, this is a bit weird. This is not meant to be like this. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, genuinely. Thank you for the incredible support on the server. We've got some exciting stuff happening soon in regards to the servers. We usually try to have exciting stuff happening. but yeah, stuff's happening. I guess that's the main thing. Let me grab some sandstone. Wonderful. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one, whatever the next one happens to be. Goodbye.